Alright, today we're going to work with 5.2 on reconciling a bank statement. You have your information here, so you have your deductions, your outstandings, and you also have your outstanding checks, okay? You're going to have your different pay stubs here, just the same thing that we did last on 5.1, and then you're going to actually have your general journal where you're going to label it out, okay? So we're going to look on page 95 of your workbook and 128 of your book. And on page 128, we are going to have, it says, on July 29th of the current year, Deep Clean received a bank statement dated July 25th. The following information is obtained from the bank statement from the records of the business. Okay, so we're going to have the different information that they give us on page 128, so we're going to use that and we're going to put it into our different bank statements. So we're going to start out with number 1 right here. It says that we need to prepare a bank statement for reconciliation using July 29th of the current year for that date, okay? So the first thing that we need to do is we obviously need to put in the date. So we're going to just put in July 29th. I'll just put 2015. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is we need to look at our deductions that we have, alright? So our deductions that they give us, it looks like we have a service charge of $2. So we're going to put down service charge over here. Just going to abbreviate it really quick. Okay. And it says we have it for $2, alright? Okay, we know that we have our deduction here, but we need to figure out what we had brought forward. So it says our bank statement is actually $1,575. So we need to make sure we have our balance on our stub for our check number, which is going to be 106. So here's our check number. So we're going to put 106 here. And we're going to put the 1,575. 0 cents. Okay. All right. So plus we're going to have our $2 for our service charge, which we got from the book. So we're going to put $2 here. Okay. So now we're going to figure out what our adjusted check stub balance is going to be, which obviously we're going to take away from the service charge. So we're going to take this number minus this number, and we're going to figure out how much we actually have for our adjusted balance. This number right here is what they gave us, okay? So this was with the $2 service fee. So now what we're going to have, since we want to know our adjusted balance without our service fee, we're going to have 1,573 and 0 cents. Okay. All right. Our next thing that we need to figure out is we need to add our outstanding deposits. All right. So again, we need to figure out what is brought forward. We have our information from the book, and we have our bank statement balance. So if we look in our book, it'll tell us what our bank statement balance is, which it looks like 1,528. So we're going to put that right here, 1,528 and $0. All right, our outstanding deposits that we have, it looks like we need to add in one of the deposits they gave us. So our outstanding deposit for July 28th is $150. So we're going to put down the date. So we'll just do 7/28/15. Put the amount here, 150. Okay, so our total outstanding deposits that we have, we're going to bring this down, which is going to be 150. All right, so now we need to figure out what our subtotal is. So in order to do that, we need to add these up. All right, this is what our balance was on our bank statement. This is our outstanding deposits, so that means that we're making money. So we need to add this in for our subtotal. So our subtotal is going to be 1,678 and 0 cents. Okay. All right, the next thing that we need to figure out is our deductions for our outstanding checks. All right, the deductions that we have check number 103 and 105. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the check number, so we'll put 103. And we need to put down the amount, which the amount is going to be $70. I'm going to put 70 here. Okay, and then our 105, it looks like $35. Okay, now we need to figure out our total for our outstanding checks, which is going to be looks like about 105. So we're going to have $105 there. Okay, now we need to figure out how much money that we need to take away from that. Since these are going to be our deductions, we need to take away the $16.78 minus the 105. So here's our 1,678 minus our 105, which is going to be 1,573 and 0 cents. Okay, so now that we figured out our reconciliation of our bank statement, we need to go on to number 2. We need to record the service charge on the check for check number 6, okay? So here's our service charge up here again, all right? So that's going to be the $2 that we have. So all that we're basically doing is we're going to figure out what our balance was brought forward. So the beginning balance up here, which is going to be the 1,575. So we're going to look where it says balance brought forward here. We're going to do the $1,575.00. Okay, now we want to do it for our service charge. So we are going to put here, we're going to put service charge. And we are going to bring over that $2 down to this one. And we're going to figure out what our subtotal is going to be. So we are going to actually take the $15.75. We're going to subtract it. So we're going to make sure we write down here on the amount on this check, which is going to be the same answer we get here. So $1,573, $0. All right, number 3 says we need to record the service charge on a general journal, and we need to use the memorandum number of 44 as our source document. Okay, so next thing we need to do is we have our general journal. So we need to use 2 different account titles, but we need to make sure that we have a debit and a credit, okay? So since our service charge is going to be, it says that we need to use the memorandum number, and also since our service charge is an actual expense that we label, we're just going to call it a miscellaneous expense. So we're going to put down, I'm just going to put down July 29th. I'm just going to put miscellaneous expense because service charges will fall underneath there. And since it said that we have a memorandum number or a document number, we're going to put it here for 44. And then since we are going to debit this to our expense because we're going to pay in our cash, we're going to put down the $2 under the debit side. And then we're going to add in one more account title, which is going to be our cash. And we're going to credit that for $2. Okay.